process to people, and I want to share it with you guys. There's only 4 things that each of your teaching points should have inside of them. And I would invite you to write these down if you have not, especially for those, and there's a few of you in here are either starting on them or completing your teaching points. I want to put one thing in before I go into these 4, is the fact that you want to make sure that there is this process that absolutely I love. Every time anyone says it, I am in love with the individual and I'm in love with the concept of turning decades into days. It's a Tony thing. I don't know if he made that or he got it from, right? But I love that concept because that's really what information businesses do. They help individuals go from where they are, fill in that gap to where they want to be. That gap is you. You're the guide along that gap to fill in that hole, right? Um, I love to share this as you're building out your teaching points. Look at them, especially for those of you who have your teaching points done, those that are in this room and those that'll be reviewing this in the as a replay, right? Make sure that it's the shortest distance that an individual has to go to really get the transformation that your program is asking for. That's right, Maggie. That's what we're going to get into right now. You're absolutely right. The idea is to make certain that an individual that does not understand what it is you're doing, that you're going to be really clear as you present it. And this is a process that you can use. I got to stop for a second because I get really geeky about this stuff. I love this stuff that I'm about to share with you. I'm just going to put that out there. That's why I'm like mentally tripping over my words. I want to get to it really quickly. So I'm just going to get to it. There's 4 elements, right? One is strategy. Strategy. What is a strategy? And I want to also to preface it by saying Mastermind we have our own little dictionary, if you will, of what we deem words mean. Because obviously we're all English speakers and we understand words and what they mean, but there's a certain way that I want to kind of unpack each of these terms for you. One is strategy. And what we mean when we say strategy is what you do, what you do. So for your teaching point, you're unpacking what it is that you do in that teaching point. That's the first element. Second element is the tactic, right? The tactic. What is that? That's how you do it. That right there is the point where you pick out, okay, first I do this, second I do this, third I do this. And what I tell my students, I'm like, pretend that you're teaching it to me. How would you teach it to me? And I put them on the spot all the time. Like, how would you teach it to me? And they're like, well, I would think, no, I'm like, no. I just paid you $5,000. Don't say, I don't know. Tell me how you would teach it. Oh, okay. So first I'm like, that. That's how you do it. Right. So that's the tactic. Third one, and we're gonna get some nitty gritty here, because this is where a lot of folks get kind of challenged, is the outcome. The outcome. You want to think of outcomes like this. It's the external thing, the thing that's outside, outcome. The external thing that you want your client to experience, to find, or to create. Like using our cake example, at the end of this, the outcome is going to be you're going to have a wonderful chocolate-filled churros. That's the outcome, right? The external thing that they'll find, experience, or create through that particular teaching point. The last one, or the fourth one, is the benefit. The benefit. And this is a hard one as well. And think of it like this. A benefit as it relates to Mastermind is the internal, inside, the feeling or the emotion. So when they learn how to make chocolate-filled churros, they obviously have a desire to learn how to make this type of pastry or whatever that thing is called, sweets or whatever it's called. They have a desire to learn. What are they going to feel like when they learn it? And then write that down, the feeling or the emotion. That's internal. That's internal. It's the benefit. Benefit. 4 elements. And it's on each of your teaching points. Those 4 elements has each teaching point has all of these. So if you haven't had a chance, if you got your teaching points together and you don't have all 4 of these in here, I would invite you to go back and revisit it. This is a great time to do that. We'll have some time to do that later on in our time together. But that's the 4 elements there, and that's what you need in each of them. And I am going to open the floor to see if there's any questions before we move on. I have a great example for you. Munu's had a hand up since like January. I don't know if she has a question or something. Or she just had it up. You are on mute.